As my heart raced, and I reached for the phone to call the office, I rationalized how the media could confuse all sorts of characters with a plainclothes police officer. The list was endless. I would prefer no law enforcement officer were killed, but I said a silent prayer. Let him not be a cop from my unit. Please. Sergeant Battaglia, one of my bosses, picked up. He confirmed that the victim was a cop from 4-1 Anti-Crime. But not just any cop. It was Kenny, Ralph, Sergeant Battaglia said quietly. He's gone. Kenny Mann was dead? I couldn't believe it. My head felt as if it took a direct hit from a brick. My mind went totally blank. I couldn't think, and I felt faint. Battaglia was still talking. Perp's still on the loose. Get here as fast as you can. Regaining my composure, I told him I was on my way. I grabbed my .238s, a shotgun, and my bulletproof vest. I was in my car in less than a minute. The next thing I remember is driving like a madman to the 4-1. The roads were deserted given the early hour. I think I made the usual 20-minute trip in 10, but it could have been less. There were dozens of marked and unmarked cars blocking the street leading to the station house. A cop's murder is the time to circle the wagons. All available officers of every rank converge on the command of occurrence. Off-duty, on-duty, retired, in all manner of attire, police from all over the city and beyond answered the unspoken call to arms. I left my car in the middle of Simpson Street, dodged TV reporters in front of the station house, and took the stairs 3 at a time to the anti-crime office. The scene was surreal. Cops were crying. Others appeared cried out and were looking blankly around the room as if trying to figure out what to do. Every available phone was being used. I saw uniforms I didn't recognize, those of officers from other departments who had heard what happened and had reached out to help. My first impulse was to break down. Kenny and I were close, and I was having a tough time wrapping my head around his being gone. But falling apart wouldn't help anything. I needed facts. If the killers, or a killer, was still being sought, I wanted to be the one to get him. I had revenge in my heart. Sergeant Battaglia came out of his office, saw me, and waved me over. He looked like he'd aged 10 years since yesterday. He was the strength of the anti-crime unit, the rock-solid boss, someone who would always have your back and have an answer to whatever problem might arise. For the first time since I met him, he actually looked helpless. Sergeant Battaglia grabbed my arm, waking me from my reverie. We just got a tip that the missing suspect in a rape robbery of a young woman may have shot Kenny, who went looking for him. A guy named Vasquez, Daniel Vasquez, is either on his way to JFK or there already looking to board a plane to PR. Grab someone and get to the airport now and see if that rat fuck is there. If he's on a plane, yank him off. Fuck a warrant. He handed me an old booking picture. This is him. He's got an extensive sheet. He stared at me. Go! What are you waiting for? I teamed up with Billy Rath, Richie McLeese, and another officer whose name I've forgotten. Scooped up a set of keys to an unmarked auto and ran for the car. Within minutes, we were at the Triborough Bridge coming up on a toll booth without any cars. At this hour of the morning, the toll taker was probably working on autopilot. He was standing in the booth ready to collect the next $2 toll, and we shot past him doing 85. I thought for sure the vacuum created by the wind blast was going to suck him out of the booth. I was relieved he didn't have his arm extended to grab my toll money, or it may have wound up splattered across the windshield. I amped up the speed to over 100 when we came off the slope leading from the bridge to the Grand Central Parkway, which was nearly deserted. We were at the Van Wyck Expressway within 3 minutes, and I slowed down for the first time since I left the station house to make the sharp turn onto the roadway. The Van Wyck is a straight 3-lane road leading directly into JFK Airport. Normally a 10-minute drive, we made the perimeter of the airport in 4 minutes. In 2 more minutes, we were screeching to a halt in front of the International Arrivals Building on the upper departure level. We'd made a trip that should have taken 45 minutes, with no traffic, from the 4-1 to JFK Airport in 14